Welcome to Civics in a Year, the podcast that makes civic literacy fast, accessible, and surprisingly engaging. In just 10 minutes an episode, we'll tackle one of 250 essential questions about American democracy, how it works, why it matters, and what it means for you. Whether you're a student, a teacher, or just someone who wants to better understand your country and your rights, you're in the right place. Civics in a Year is powered by the Civic Literacy Curriculum from the Center for American Civics and is produced in partnership with the School of Civic and Economic Thought and Leadership at Arizona State University. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Civics in a Year Student Edition. I'm Liz, and today we're going to dive into a question that connects history, citizenship, and even long weekends. So today we're talking about what are civic holidays and what's the story behind Labor Day. A civic holiday is a day set aside to remember, celebrate, or reflect on something important in the life of our country. These holidays just aren't about parades or days off from school. They're reminders of our shared history and values. So think about it. Independence Day celebrates the birth of our nation in 1776. Martin Luther King Jr. Day honors the fight for civil rights and equality. And Constitution Day reminds us of the document that still shapes our democracy. Each civic holiday gives us a chance to pause and ask, what does this event or person mean for who we are today? So now, let's talk about Labor Day. Labor Day is celebrated the first Monday in September, and for many people, it's the unofficial end of summer. Barbecues, pool parties, maybe even some back-to-school shopping, but the real history is deeper. Back in the late 1800s, the United States was going through some huge changes. Factories, railroads, and industries were booming. But the workers, the people who built the railroads, worked in the mines, and sewed in the factories, often had tough and dangerous jobs. Long hours, low pay, little safety. Workers began to organize into something called a labor union to demand better conditions, fair wages, and reasonable hours. These unions pushed for an idea that might sound familiar, an 8-hour workday. One of their slogans was 8 hours for work, 8 hours for rest, and 8 hours for what we will. After strikes, marches, and even some violent clashes, the government recognized the importance of honoring workers. In 1894, Congress made Labor Day a national holiday. So here's something to think about. When you imagine American workers, who comes to mind? Construction crews, teachers, nurses, delivery drivers, fast food employees. The truth is, Labor Day honors all kinds of workers that keep our country running. Here's a fun fact. Other countries celebrate a holiday called International Workers' Day on May 1st. The U.S. chose September instead, partly to give workers a well-deserved break between July 4th and Thanksgiving. So why do civic holidays matter? Because they help us connect past struggles and achievements to our lives today. Labor Day isn't just about the end of summer. It's about remembering the people who fought for safer workplaces, weekends, and rights that benefit most of us today. So, question for you. If you could create a new civic holiday, what would it honor and why? Next time Labor Day comes around, enjoy the barbecue, sure, but also take a moment to think about the workers of the past and present who make our community strong. Thanks for tuning in to Civics in a Year. I'm Liz, and I'll see you next time with another big civic question. Adults, teachers, there is a classroom activity sheet that goes along with this episode called Design Your Own Civic Holiday. You can find it in the show notes or on our website, civics.asu.edu. Thanks for joining us on another episode of Civics in a Year. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and share it with someone who cares about a constitutional republic as much as you do.
For more episodes, resources, and updates, follow us on social media or visit us at civics.asu.edu. Make sure to check out the show notes for any relevant links. Special thanks to the United States Marine Band for their performance of the Stars and Stripes Forever. Let's keep building a stronger constitutional republic, one episode at a time.